Hi, I'm Martin from OctoInkjet, and what we're going to be doing in this video is showing you how to refill a PFI-1000 cartridge for a Pro-1000 printer from Canon. The main refill tools included in our refill kit are the SquEasyV cap, which is a female lure adapted cap that allows you to directly connect a syringe to the bottle, so you don't need to have a long needle to poke into the bottle and potentially knock it over, spilling all of that valuable ink. It also includes our refill adapter for connecting to the cartridge and a standard 50 to 60 ml syringe. Last thing we've got is a 200 gram capacity set of digital scales, which helps you to actually check the weight of your cartridge and determine just how full it is. Okay, so that is our refill kit. We've also got a bit of kitchen towel, which we're using to help with the whole refilling process. So that's the refill kit. Obviously, prepare your surface so that it's going to be easy for you to clean up afterwards and not going to get you in trouble. First thing you need to do is empty your syringe of air particularly. So what you need to do, get your kitchen towel, pop it over the end and just squeeze down into it. That will catch any liquid that you may still have in the syringe and also allow you to jet any of that ink and air out without it spraying and creating, well, a complete mess. Okay, so empty syringe. Next, you take the cover cap from your bottle of ink. So this is the cover cap here. Make sure that cap is on and secure. And I'm just going to point out that these caps have a liner, which is waterproof, and that protects the cap and stops leakage. If that liner is missing, you don't want to just put the cap on and forget about it, because it will leak everywhere. So make sure you have those. There will be spare liners in with your refill kit. Okay. So make sure your liner is in. Now we need to fill your syringe. So attach to the adapter on the top of the cap, up end like so, and then draw between 30 and 40 ml of ink into your syringe. Holding the plunger, you then release the bottle like so. And there you have your syringe is now filled with about 40 odd ml of ink. You now attach your adapter like so. Make sure you rotate it on if you have a lock collar on the syringe, and it's now time to actually refill the cartridge. Now the port you're looking for is this big one where my finger is. So to fill, get your adapter and push into that port gently at first, and then push all the way down, and then turning the gauge or the measurement markings on your syringe so you can see how much you're pushing in. What you do now is just gently push that ink into the cartridge. Now, because it's a sealed unit, you'll start to feel a pressure pushing back. So you get to about 20 ml and then release. And that will push all of the air that your ink has displaced up and out through the nozzle, because obviously the air is at the top of the cartridge, this end here, and all of the ink has gone down to the bottom. So once you've done that, just push again until the rest of that ink is in. You can do it in smaller stages if you prefer, it's entirely up to you. And then release again. As you can see, the air is pushing back to nearly where we started, but what we do is, so we don't end up with any positive air pressure in there that will spray everywhere, take it back to roughly where we started, which was around about 45 milliliters. Okay, then gently remove and release. That's all good. Wipe off our refill tip and take it off. And then what we need to do now is remove all that air from the syringe. Now if you remember, kitchen towel, paper towel, pop it over the end of the syringe and just gently push your syringe all the way up to the top. And there we go, one empty syringe again. And we repeat the process we did earlier of drawing ink out of our bottle. Okay, so again, we want about another 40 ml of ink. I'm going to go again to about 45. It should be too much, just gives us a bit of excess. And release the bottle as before. And once again, we have our 40 to 45 ml of ink. Reattach the adapter like so, and plug in our adapter to the fill port as we did before. Right, so gently in and gently push. These cartridges will hold a total of 80 millilitres of ink. Empty, the cartridge will weigh 32 grams, so a full cartridge should weigh around about 112 approximately. What I'm going to do now is disconnect the syringe and adapter, because I've pulled the syringe and air out to the same level that we put in. So now we need to check how much ink is actually in our cartridge. What we do, pop it on the scales and check. Now, these are 32 grams empty, and you're putting 80 millilitres of ink into them. So you're looking, if you assume a 1 gram to 1 milliliter equivalent, which is what you get with water, then your cartridge should be sitting at around about 112 grams. Now, we've got 3 grams over at 115. So chances are we've got a little bit of extra ink in there, but nothing to get too bent out of shape about. So I'm reasonably confident that's full and not massively overfull. If you're at all concerned, you can draw any extra ink out by basically plugging in your adapter like so, upending the cartridge like this, and then drawing out a small amount of extra ink. You just see it dripping in there. Okay, turning it back over, pulling it out like so, and then reweighing. And all I've done is pull out 1 gram of ink, but that shows you how to do it safely. Last thing we need to do, now that we're happy with the weight, is just to balance out any pressure in the cartridge just by using our refill adapter to gently press the poppet valve in the outlet here. And what that will do is allow any air in to balance out negative pressure, or air out if there's a positive pressure in there. Do be careful, particularly if you've been pushing hard into these, because if there's too much positive pressure in there, you could get a spray of ink, which you really don't want all over yourself or your surroundings. Okay, right, now that the cartridge is filled, last couple of bits in terms of maintenance. If you've still got ink left in your syringe and you're happy that it's not contaminated or going to cause any problems, what you do is you squeeze your SquEasyV bottom, obviously being careful not to push ink all the way out the top, like so. Then you attach your syringe and push. In terms of chips and things like that, you can buy replacement chips, but most of our customers, what they do is they just cancel out the ink monitoring process and regularly top up their cartridges using the process we've just shown you, and just accept that they've got to keep an eye on that kind of thing over time. The fact that you have 80 millilitres of ink in these printers does give you a lot more leeway, but you definitely don't want to let them run down. Okay, so there you go. That's the entire refill procedure for filling a PFI-1000 cartridge. If you've got any questions, please do use either the comments section below or look up our contact details in the description underneath the video, and we'll be happy to help. Other than that, if you like this video, obviously, please give us a like and thumbs up. That does help us reach more people. And if you're interested in more of our content, then please do subscribe. We'd love to see you come back and watch some more of me showing you how to get completely covered in ink. Okay? Right. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. I'll just give you a quick demonstration of what happens if you do knock this over when it's on. As you can see, full bottle. Most we've had is just that little bit of ink there. So obviously quite an advantage.